What's up everybody, Dan here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm really excited to do this video because I'm doing a tutorial on Ross Draw. Now disclaimer, I cannot guarantee you guys that you guys can replicate his style one-to-one because I personally can't. It's a style, it's not something that is easily replicated. Okay, now the disclaimer out of the way, we can move on the actual painting now. The actual tutorial. Now, as the tradition goes, who is Ross Strand? Ross Strand is an illustrator and concept artist. He loved making up characters and world as a kid, which is something that hasn't changed much over the years. He began pursuing art more seriously at 16 and moved from San Jose to Los Angeles a year later for a degree in industrial design. Not only that, when he became YouTube famous as an artist, he have created multiple books, collaborated with multiple famous YouTubers. He have created books like Bloom, like Nima, with people like Lily Pichu. He have collaborated with a lot of different artists, I would say. So that's pretty cool of him, and his personality is just over the moon. I really love watching his videos. Now, for the actual tutorial itself, right? I'm gonna start off with mood board. Now this is something that he have done, and I think you guys should do it as well. I recommend it to not just new artists, but artists who have been doing art for over many years, because mood board is not just you finding references and putting them into a big canvas. Mood board is essentially helping you to get inspired, helping you to be motivated for your next artwork, which I think is something that is good to practice, good to learn, and something good to have, especially for newer artists, older artists, all artists, regardless your skill level. So creating a mood board. Now creating a mood board, I would say a tip that I can give you guys is have a specific niche to your mood board. What I mean by that, if your niche, what I mean by niche is the aesthetic. If like the mood that you have when you see this reference is like kind of happy, kind of very like have multiple colors, like a lot of blue, a lot of red, a lot of colors everywhere, very vibrant colors, then put them in one mood board. And then if you have a reference where it's all dark, very moody and all that stuff, put it in a different mood board. That way you don't get mixed feelings, or not mixed feelings, mixed kind of like, how do I put it, kind of mixed mood, yeah, I don't know. So that is something you want to keep in mind when doing a mood board. Now I want to move on to layers. Now layers is very important because as you can see, Ross Draws have made a lot of paintings, and all his painting has so many layers. I cannot stress enough how important layers are. I have so many layers in this painting itself. Now a tip I can give you guys, or you guys should practice, is renaming your layers. That way you know what is what, and you don't always have to kind of click to see what is missing, what is not, and that kind of stuff. So it really makes your quality of life easier. That is layers. Now I want to touch on to lights and shadow. Now Ross Draws have given a lot of tips about lights and shadows, so I'm going to give you guys the tips that he have given everyone. Tip number 1: light is always linear. It's always a straight line. So whenever you're doing lighting, you gotta remember that light is always a straight line. Now tip number 2 that I can give you guys, that I have given everyone, is light is always warm and shadows are always cool. So you got to know that shadows are cool and lights are warm. You gotta have that contrast between each other. You cannot have a shadow warm. What I think Ross mean by warm is like kind of bright, or kind of like popping in that sense. So you cannot have really warm shadows, or shadows that are kind of like the light. So you gotta keep the shadows very cool shadows. It's very difficult to explain, but you just know that shadows are always cool, they're always dark. And where do you put shadows is usually in places that the light cannot touch, like the pockets of the eye, usually on under the neck and stuff. That is where you want to put the most shadow. As you can see in this painting, I put the most shadow near the body, but lesser shadow near the face. Now that shadows out of the way and lighting is out of the way, I want to touch on a little bit on global illumination. Now, what is global illumination? Global illumination is basically lights in the environment bouncing back to your skin. What I mean by that is like, let's say the sky is blue, so you want to put a tint of blue on the skin because the sun passed through the sky and the color of blue travel with the light, hits the floor, and then bounce on your face, creating that kind of blue tint. So having global illumination is very important. This is a tip that Ross Draws have said in his videos as well. Global illumination here, like in the eyes, especially in the eyes, and then a little bit in the skin, like you can see here, a little bit of red and stuff. You got to also know that whenever you put red on the face or skin, you got to know where the red is coming from, because it's usually the part where there's the most meat. So you want to put near the cheeks, you want to put near the neck, near the shoulders, because there's less less meat there. So like you can kind of see the blood, the red blood, your blood basically. Okay, so now that global illumination is done, I want to move on to details. When I mean details, I mean like highlights. Now, highlights are really important. Detailed highlights is really important. Details is like the strand of hair, and extra details like the petal and the design on the clothes, that kind of stuff. But it's also the highlights. The highlights is really important. Like you want to put the highlights really pop the entire painting itself. Like it really does. It makes your skin glow, it makes your hair shine, and it makes your clothes look more alive, more realistic, as I would say. I want to move on to the next step, which is, as you guys know him for who he is, color dodge. Now, color dodge is something that Ross Draw loves to use. Let me see if I can find color dodge here. So if you can see color dodge, what it essentially does is a blending mode. It brightens up the layer below it. So when I put the color dodge, you can see it really pops everything out, making it look like the sun is passing through the entire painting itself. So color dodge is something that he loves to do, and I think that you guys should do if you guys want to replicate kind of Ross's style. So I'm gonna recap everything. So to recap, create a mood board. It helps you to get inspired, helps you to start doing art again whenever you have art block. And then step 2, you want to know, you need to learn lights and shadows. You got to know that light is always linear, it's always a straight line, and shadows are always very cool. And then the next step is global illumination. Now, global illumination, like I said, is things that is basically the light in the environment. Okay, not just the light source, but the light in the environment that bounces off the walls and everything else near the character. Like you can see this blue tint here, the red and everything. So that is global illumination. I'm out of breath. Okay, then the next step is the details and highlights. Now, details are basically everything else, like the strand of hair, the headband, the earrings, and then highlights are places that pops everything, like your eyes, the corner of your eyes, the tip of your nose, your lips, and your cheeks, your cheekbone. So that, and anywhere else that the lights shine, like concentrated shine is what I meant. So the highlights and details. And then obviously the next step is color dodge. Have fun with color dodge, but don't blow it out. It can get really, it just makes your painting glow if you add too much of it. So have fun with it, but keep it at a minimum. Know where to put it. Don't put color dodge or highlights for the sake of it. Know where it is. Like I say, you need to understand where the light is coming from, and because light is always linear, your color dodge should be where your light hits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really cannot explain much on Ross's style or the tricks he used because I personally don't know. But I hope you guys kind of understand the basic steps, how to put lighting and stuff. Like I say, shadows will always be in the pocket of the eye, the other side of the nose, under the jaw and stuff like that, places where the light does not touch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. And remember, every day is a color dodge day. Thank you guys so much, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.